So, good morning and welcome back to Daily Transfer Update. Apologies for it being a couple of hours late. I didn't hear my alarm, so yeah, had a lovely night's sleep. Happy Saturday to everybody. If you are going out and about today and you're in England, it is going to be an absolute scorcher, so make sure you put sun protection on. And also, my streams for today are going to be slightly different. I'm going to a charity boxing match between DT's son and Rants from United Stand YouTube channel. So there will be no 9 o'clock stream. Obviously, I'll be there. I'll probably have no signal in the stadium. And my 5 o'clock stream will be at about 3 o'clock today. So turn the notification bell on. Keep your eyes peeled for that as well. Subscribe if you're new. And also, my daily transfer update tomorrow will not be out at 7. I won't be back until gone midnight tonight. So yeah, that'll be out around midday, 1 o'clock tomorrow as well. So just keeping you all in the loop. Now, in terms of keeping you in the loop with the transfers, there's not a great deal of updates, if I'm being honest. So I thought today, let me go through some of the players that we've been linked with and basically give an update on where we're at. Let's start with Wilfried Zaha. Wilfried Zaha wants Arsenal. Arsenal want Wilfried Zaha, but unfortunately, Crystal Palace are outpricing him. Or outpricing us, should I say. They want £80 million. Obviously, 25% of the transfer fee goes to Man United. So they basically want to bump the fee up, charge a ridiculous price for him. And listen, ideally, they want to keep him. But are they going to end up keeping a player that's extremely unhappy and don't want to be there? And has quite openly admitted he wants to come to Arsenal. So that's going to run on and on. Now, let's move on to Aubameyang. Reports of Man United being linked. Now, if we end up selling Aubameyang to Man United and buying Wilfried Zaha and then giving them 25% of the fee, that is RIP to the club. That would be just scandalous. I don't think there's any truth in these Aubameyang links. That's just my opinion. So we'll move straight on. Next player, Lucas Torreira. Conflicting reports, really. Some reports are saying that AC Milan are going to bid for him. Other reports are saying that he's happy and he don't want to go anywhere. Now, AC Milan are apparently banned from Europa League. Well done, Ivan Gazidis. You've been there a year and they're already banned. So, good one, mate. But I don't think Torreira is going to go. But as I've said loads of times on here, if he is unhappy, get rid of him. And get rid of him quickly as well for the most amount of money. But I don't think he's going anywhere. I think he'll still be an Arsenal player come the 8th of August. Next player we're going to talk about is Yannick Carrasco. Now, this guy is currently suspended from Dalian Yifang for some of the comments he's put out there for turning up late and not bothering to play games. His teammates gave a scathing attack of him and he's been suspended. So this one's kind of died down at the moment. I think he's made it pretty obvious that he wants to come to Europe. Whether that's Arsenal, I don't know. Personally, I don't want him. I think his attitude stinks. I think he's proven that throughout this whole transfer debacle that he's just got a massive attitude issue. And if he comes to Arsenal and say he scores 10 goals by Christmas, couple of assists, and Real Madrid or Barcelona come in for him, or PSG or Bayern or someone like that, who's to say he ain't going to do the same again in January? So for me, steer well clear of this guy. I don't want him. There's other options out there, which leads me nicely on to Ryan Fraser. That's kind of died down a little bit at the moment. Fraser, similar to Carrasco in terms of he was talking a lot. That seems to have stopped. He ain't really talking so much now, if anything at all. There's no real links to him, other than the ones that were at the beginning of the transfer window. I do still think there's a massive chance we're going to sign Ryan Fraser. And I think that the fact that it's died down would suggest that to everyone that we ain't in for him, which is exactly why I think we are in for him. Sometimes there's a lot of talk and not a lot of action. Other times there's no talk and a lot of action. So personally, I think that's the case with this one. And I do think that Ryan Fraser will be an Arsenal player. But we shall see at the end of the transfer window what exactly happens. And if he does come in, I'll be over the moon. I think he's a very good player. Next player we're going to speak about is Keita Balde-Diao. An absolute flop for the last 2 seasons since leaving Lazio. The Monaco player, reported fee of around £30 million. Don't want him anywhere near Arsenal. I don't think he's good enough. He was fantastic at Lazio, flopped since then for 2 seasons. Now, the fact that Inter Milan don't want to sign him after having him on loan says all we need to know. He only scored, I think, 5 goals last season, so not good enough for me. I think there's other options out there that we could get that would be better than him for the same sort of price. So definitely a no-no for me. Now, let's move on to somebody who's definitely a yes, and that is Kieran Tierney. Now, reports are going around that Arsenal have gone back in with another bid. Some reports say that we've put 2 bids in. Other reports were saying it was only 1. Neil Lennon himself has said we only put 1 bid in for him. Now, yesterday it emerged that we have gone in with a second bid, which is £17.5 million plus £7.5 million worth of add-ons, which totals up to their £25 million valuation. But they swiftly rejected it, as they said that the add-ons were not realistic. It was too sort of too far out of the realms of reality for that to happen and them to get the £7.5 million. So we are weighing up a third bid, and I fully expect us to go in and get that third bid next week. And I fully expect Kieran Tierney to be an Arsenal player by the end of this transfer window. Again, this is just going to run on and on and on. But I do think he will be an Arsenal player by the end of this window. So we shall see what happens. Now, 2 players that were linked to us at the very start of this transfer window, and that seems to have died a slow and painful death as well, and that is Prate and Anderson from Sampdoria. To and fro-ing, couple of bids here, couple of bids there, and that's completely died a death. What's going on with that one? Maybe again that's a Ryan Fraser situation, where there's a lot of talk and not a lot of action. Maybe there is some action going on behind the scenes. I don't know. I would take both of them at Arsenal. I think they'd improve us. I think that for the price that they're asking for him, I think that's reasonable. Adding Kieran Tierney to the mix as well, you've then got yourself 3 decent players for relatively cheap money. So I think that is something we should still be looking at. And I think that hopefully we do sign them, because I think that they're good players. Another one that we were looking at, which has slowed down a little bit, is Armando Izzo. Probably the best centre-back outside of the top 2 teams in Italy. Fantastic season last season, linked to us for about £15 million. That one's completely died a death as well. He came out and said that he's happy in Torino. He'll fight for the shirt. He'll give blood and sweat for the shirt. And he'll do that until the last day of him playing for Torino. So he's in no rush to leave, was his words, and he's happy where he is. So again, I'm not so sure. I don't know what's really happening with that one. I'm just having a little look at my list. I think that's absolutely everyone covered. So yeah, there we go. Not a great deal to tell you really. Just updating on the players that we've been most linked to. Missed one player. Bernard Leno has said that he wants to be number 1 for every competition, which could halt our progress for a number 2 really, because who's going to come in and want to just sit on the bench all season? So I don't know. Emiliano Martinez is still an Arsenal player. Would he do it? He's already said that he wants to be a number 1. So I don't know. But yeah, that is everybody on the list. Thanks for watching again this morning. Like I said, my stream at 5 o'clock will be at 3 o'clock. There will be no 9 o'clock stream. I am at a charity boxing event. Subscribe, like the content, share the content around. And thanks very much to every one of nearly 19,000 of you that have subscribed to my channel. So big up yourselves, enjoy the sun today, and I'll see you all at 3 o'clock. Laters, peeps.